Okay, so it's been raining here. Interesting. Great. That's great. Moto dork. Whew! I believe this is the hottest day I've ridden so far since buying all leather riding gear. It's noticeable. It's a bit balmy in here. Just a bit balmy, if I do say so myself. That was horrible. That was a horrible British accent. My apologies to Paul Ralston. I tried. Starting out in second gear, it's not bad. So, just got the valves adjusted, new spark plugs, new air filter, and it's running like a top. I will say the shop did a fantastic job on it. And the truth is, I couldn't be happier with the way it's running. And that's the truth. Because I said it's the truth twice. So it must be. What do you say we take a ride down into the Palisades? That sounds like a great idea. We'll go up past Shakertown, which is a town that was made by Shakers. Shakers were an odd sort of people, and they got that name from the way they danced when they were worshiping the Lord. They would just start shaking, you know. I mean, that's what they did. And something else that was really odd about them, and I believe this is the truth. If it's not, correct me, please. But they didn't have sex. They would get married, but they wouldn't have intercourse. So there was an entire demographic that was destined to become extinct. I mean, I guess it's possible that every now and then a few of them might sneak a little bit of the old in out. But for the most part, I think they didn't. But by God, they made some awesome furniture. And Shakertown itself is a really beautiful place. If you're ever in central Kentucky, do yourselves a favor and come visit it. It's really nice. But, you know, I think a bug just hit my boot. You know, they keep... So here... Oh, I know... Oh, okay. I know what we need to talk about. And I know this is something I've never talked about before, but we need to talk about Avengers Endgame. Yeah. Do you know what happened? I mean, you probably do, but if you don't, I'm going to tell you. They had a little press thing in South Korea for Avengers Endgame. The cast members were there. At least most of them, maybe all of them, I don't know. But in South Korea, they screened the first 20 minutes of the film for those guys. The first 20 minutes of the film. I mean, I don't know if I would call that lucky. Is that lucky? Because personally, as much as I'm jonesing to see this film, I don't know if I would want to sit down somewhere and watch the first 20 minutes and then have to stop and get up and go home for 10 days. I just don't think I would want to do that. So no, I'm going to call that not lucky. Yeah, that's what I'm calling it. And at the same time, we got to worry about leaks. You know, people are leaking information, leaking videos, and I don't want to see that. So now I pretty much have to just cut myself off from everything having to do with Endgame. If I want to stay as unspoiled as possible, I got to cut myself off from almost all information about the movie. I have allowed myself to watch the little 30-second TV spots. I feel pretty safe watching those. I mean, I might get a half a second of new footage that I've never seen before. But that's okay. I'm not gonna cry and whine about that. And you know, it keeps my appetite wetted. Whatever the word is, that's what it's keeping it. Alright, come on over, Cadillac. Come on over, friend of Cole. So, yeah. And it sure does seem like they are releasing a new TV spot. Like, I guess I'll slow down since the road's whatever. It seems like they are releasing a new TV spot every day for 10 days. Since it was 10 days, we've gotten one every day. And that was like 2 or 3 days ago. So a new 30-second spot with maybe 1 or 2 little blips of a scene that we've never seen before. I'm okay with that. I can deal with that. You know, like the Egyptian lover said, I can deal with that situation. I don't care about my reputation. I'm pretty sure he said that. It's looking kind of rainy. Not supposed to rain. There was no call for rain today. I sure hope it doesn't. I don't want to get rained on. Don't like the rain. Don't like the rain. That was supposed to be Australian. I mean, it was okay. I'm trying. But yeah, it looks a little rainy. Of course, to me, it looks rainier than it actually is because I'm wearing a smoked visor, so it looks darker than it actually is. That's okay. That's a big house. A big house with a big garage behind it. So, yeah, I mean, now I gotta worry about spoilers, so I gotta stop watching all this stuff that I've been watching. You know, breakdowns of trailers, and it's like, I mean, I guess today is something 10th. Like 17th, I think. 17th. So, oh yeah, I guess it is 9 days. I wish I could keep track of days. Because it comes out on the 26th. Actually, I guess technically the 25th, because some theaters always show the movie like a few hours before midnight. You know, used to get a midnight showing. Now they even show it like if it's supposed to come out on a Friday, they'll even show it like Thursday afternoon. And I don't know how I feel about that. But I do have my ticket. Seeing it at 10:55 p.m. Friday night, the 26th, at the Fayette Mall Cinemark in their XD auditorium. I really wanted IMAX. John, if you're watching this, general manager of the Regal in Lexington, I really wanted IMAX, but they were just all sold out by the time I got around to getting my tickets. And I started buying my tickets just maybe 2 or 3 hours after they went on sale. And they were just gone. The best I could get in the best auditorium, well, second best auditorium in Lexington, was 10:55. And that was a seat that was satisfactory, because I have, you know, I have my, what's the word I'm looking for? I have certain level of, it's a word. There's a word I'm looking for. I forget words sometimes because I'm old. I have to have a certain seat in a certain location. It's the same thing with hotels, you know. I have to have a certain level of hotel because I have to feel clean. I have to feel like they care about washing sheets. Standard. Yeah, I have standards. That's the word I'm looking for. I have a certain standards when it comes to watching a movie. My seat has to be in a certain location in the auditorium, or else forget it. You know, I used to be a projectionist, and I'm all about the film. So, you know, so 10:55 at night was the only time I could find, the earliest time I could find a showing with seats that were satisfactory to me. And you know, that's what we got to do, right? That's what we got to do. So yeah, 8 days technically, 9 days officially. I'm just getting more and more excited. And here we are. We made it. We made it. Used to be a store right there in the side of the hill, believe it or not. Now we're going back up. So yeah, I mean, people are going to leak. They're going to leak stuff. And let's just be completely clear here. Those people are assholes. They're assholes. Don't do that. Look, the Russo brothers have officially put out a request. Don't leak our shit. I mean, our stuff. Accursed. Sorry, kids. I mean, those guys are tying up over 10 years of storytelling. 10 years of blood, sweat, and tears by people who made these movies. They want it to be a surprise. They want it to be satisfying. They want it to connect with us on a certain level. And, whoops, and so don't leak. If you know things, keep it to yourself. For God's sake. Don't be that guy. And I'm hoping my battery lasts until I get to Shakertown. Whoa. Okay, so it's been raining here. Interesting. Great. That's great. But I should be solving my battery problem here very soon, because I purchased an Anchor external battery pack. Okay, well maybe it hasn't been raining here. As suggested by CycleCruza. Thank you, sir. Now, what he suggested was buying the battery pack and then purchasing a 6-foot cord, because I suppose what he does is he puts the battery pack in an inside pocket in his jacket and runs it up to the back of his helmet and then around to the side through little clips he has stuck onto the side of his helmet, which I have done as well. However, I didn't want the battery in my jacket because, one, it's just going to be cumbersome. Two, those things sometimes explode or catch on fire. I don't want that next to my body. I would like to have it outside my body, you know, I mean, well, away from my body, you know, if possible. So I came up with an idea. That idea was mount it to the back of my helmet somehow. But how do you do that? I can't just mount the battery by itself. That would look ridiculous. And, you know, to be fair, my solution to some might look a little ridiculous. Maybe even a little bit ridiculous to myself, I don't know. But it works. I mean, it's gonna work. So what I did was I designed a 3D object on tinkercad.com. And if you don't know what Tinkercad is, it's a website created by Autodesk, makers of AutoCAD. And this site is completely free. You can create an account for free. You can go on there and you can make whatever you want to make to your heart's content out of 3D objects. And then once you've completed your object, you export it to an STL file, download it to your desktop, or you can keep it there, you know, in the cloud. The cloud means the internet. And either send it to a 3D printer, or, like I said, get on a computer that's connected to a 3D printer, go on to your Tinkercad account and download it there, and then print it. So what I did was I created a holder, a container for this battery pack with mounting surfaces to mount to the back of my helmet using Sugru, which is an amazing invention. It's how I have my camera mounted to the front of my helmet. It's a moldable putty that you can use to adhere one thing to another in 24 hours. it will harden to a silicone-like substance, and it's bonded for life. It becomes bonded to whatever it's stuck to, and it won't come off. So I believe that'll work for my battery holder. So slide the battery into the holder on the back of my helmet, run the cable from there around to the front of my helmet, plug it into the camera. That thing will power my camera for hours at a time. So no more worrying whether or not my camera has shut off. Everything's going to be much better as far as that goes. So I've got the object printed. I even put some photographs of it on my Instagram. So if you want to go to The Moto Dork, and you can see these photographs of this ridiculous little item that I printed, and kind of keep track of what I'm doing with it. And I would appreciate that. So I am coming up on Shakertown. So, you know, hey, subscribe to my channel here if you like it. I know it's ridiculous. I talk about stupid things, but hey, it'll help pass the time, right? And if you subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. You're notified of whenever I put up my amazing videos. Because why wouldn't you? Anyway, that is it. You guys have a great day.